Ever wonder what it's like to live in a cozy New England cottage? Join us as we transform our simple ranch home into a comfy cottage. Each week, we work towards improving, maintaining, and beautifying our home and garden, all on a tight budget. Good morning, everyone. We are in the crazy heat right now, but I wanted to show you some of our wisterias are coming back, wisteria flowers, and we're getting new growth, so we'll have to rein that in a little bit. Some of them are drying up already, but it looks really great and it's really lush. So this is on our arbor going up the stairs. This week we're going to work on going through here. We have some stairs and we have a garden, that first bench up there. If you've been with us for a while now, you'll know we have a beautiful little sitting area up there, but we've been kind of slowly working on it. We're going to just clean it up and weed it, do some transplants. We're going to see if we can come across some wood chips, something to kind of clean up that area and finish it off, and we'll do a little cute area there. These rocks eventually will be something that we'll work on. I don't know if we'll have time for it this week, but we'll see. Throughout the years, we'll be slowly adding actual stairs here, but for now, we want to have something maybe better planned here for the rocks. But these aren't the stairs we're working on this week. So it's a little bit of a rock climbing adventure, and as we age, we're going to need better stairs. But for now, we're focused on when we get up here, these stairs.
Whenever I've had extra boards on hand, I would kind of put in an extra couple of stairs. They definitely need to be fixed up. As you see, some of these are just kind of loose right now.
Don't mind our shadows, folks.
They're definitely not uniform. These steps definitely need a whole renovation. I'm going to tear all these out. I'm going to probably use a lot of the same wood if it's still good, but we're going to make them nice and uniform and make them a lot more comfortable to walk on and a lot safer as well.
Yes, and it won't be as steep. We're going to be digging in to actually make like a stair base, a nice tread, and then the risers are going to be more like our wood here. We're going to utilize some of our pressure treated wood that we have here, and also we're going to be cutting down some trees and adding that for some of them. We'd like it to be uniform. We're going to do the best we can, but we're working with what we have, folks. If you have a forest like we do on our property that you have access to, it's your personal forest, you can actually make free stairs and use pegs for it and the actual riser of it and the base mainly, and then we want to flatten this out, and we're hoping to do something unique with it. But as we're going up here, I'll show you. I mean, it's very steep and it's very far apart, like Paul said, but we also want to show you some of our beautiful rose campions. They're still hanging on. We have some oregano that's flowering. Don't mind the rickety camera, folks. We have some baby trees growing. As much as I love trees and would love to keep these, we really need the sunshine and shade, but we also need it to be a little thinned out. So we're going to kind of go through some of these, as much as I love an oak tree like anybody else. And a lot of this area here, just a small area here, we're going to clean up a little bit, because as the rose campions die out, they get kind of icky looking, and also there's so much of them that it doesn't look as pleasant when they're not in bloom. And we just want to thin them out. They will continue to grow and plant themselves in other spots, but this is important to kind of thin this out. And this is our spot that we love here, our first bench here. We call it the first bench because we have made some throughout the yard. We're trying to find a way to make these trails and have resting areas, and also we want to have a different vantage point, a different view from each section of the trail, each leg of the trail. And we have like here, we're going to leave these. We're going to leave these steps here that were made of stone. We like that look.
Some of them need to be set in a little bit better, especially over there. We'll probably do that while we're here.
And this area here, we're just cleaning up this area a little bit and maybe doing some plantings a little bit.
Like some of the bushes need trimming. Some of the plants we're going to take out that aren't doing as well.
We're slowly working on this, so eventually this will all be less crazy. It'll be more tailored and much prettier. But we have to do it a little at a time because we are older folks. It is very hot in the summer to work, but also it's a budget thing. And we have so much. It doesn't seem like a lot because we have a small house and it looks like we have a small property, but we really actually own all the way up there. It's a lot more than it seems, and a lot of this is hillside. So we have to see ways to do it that are budget friendly and something that we can do a little at a time. Because it really does take a lot out of you to do this. But see all those rose campion, you can see all of those, it goes all the way down. And honestly, in other spots of the yard, but this whole area just has to be thinned out. It's very pretty when it's in bloom. They always come back every year though. I want to point out too that everything on the hill here, I really like that there's pine needles. That's a natural way to have mulch. So I'm going to leave a lot of that. And it's really doing well here where it's not a lot of crazy weeds or things growing. So it's just really thinning things out, cleaning it up a bit. But I'm leaving the pine needles as like a natural mulch in this general area. It's nice to see the yard from this vantage point as well. I really hope you all can hear the beautiful birds singing right now. It's so pretty.
So the very lowest step are these two cinder blocks, which need just a little bit of adjusting. I'm going to leave those in place as they're pretty solid. And this next step up also is nice and solid. I think I'm going to clean it up and put a coat of stain on it. All the rest of them are going to be taken out, cleaned up and stained, repositioned and put in properly. A nice uniform lengths. So let's get started. Also, these tree trunks that I laid along the sides as a marker for the trail are ready to come out. The trail is well established at this point, and these are well rotted at this point. They look kind of crappy. So I'm going to take them out and clean this place up. Let's get moving. One thing to note also is I'm going to rake up all these wood chips that I just put down a few months ago and save them, and I'm sure I'm going to use them either in another project or along the sides of these trails. Here we have a clean slate. I've removed all the steps, and you can see just how ununiform they were by the placement of the holes. I just kind of threw them in the ground where I thought we needed them, but it really hasn't served us well. So now, starting with a clean slate, I think we're going to do a great job, and it's also going to look fantastic. So I had to cut this sapling down to thin out the forest a little bit. And I'm going to be using this for my stakes for the stairs. So I'm going to cut a couple of these at around 20 inches long to see if that's the right length. I'm going to pound them in the ground for the first set of steps and adjust the length from there. So my next step is to determine how far away the steps need to be from each other. So I'm just going to do that by walking. So it looks like I'm going to want the steps to be about 16 inches riser to riser. And try that out for the first couple of steps and see if that works out. Maybe 18 inches. 18 inches is probably more like it. We got a rock there. The other problem I face is the slope of this hill changes as the hill goes up. So some of the stairs will be at different heights than others, I think. I'm using these boards that I finished as risers this time instead of as steps because I've got another idea for what's going to make up the actual step. Now I know that I'm cutting stakes out of that tree that I cut down. I do have a small handful of these pressure treated stakes here that I'm going to use that for the bottom couple steps. Trying to put these stakes just below the height of the riser. Got our steps about 18 inches deep this way. Seems to work pretty good so far. I'm going to make sure the soil on the actual tread of the step is going to be a little bit lower than the risers because I'm going to be filling that in with some stone later on. Excess soil I get, I'm putting on the side of the trail where we're going to be building up a little planting area. Also, my stairs are going to be turning a little bit because this path is angled a little bit. So the 18 inches won't stay true. I'm going to adjust to the curve. I'm going to see how it goes with these homemade stakes. Time for a water break. So now that the risers are all in place, before I go and buy the stone to put in for the actual steps, I'm going to prepare each side of the stairway for planting. I've got some of the sand and soil that I dug out where the stairs are. I've got that thrown on the side already, and I'm going to mix in some compost. And then we're going to put in some iris and some rose of Sharon that we have. We've got a big patch of iris that needs to be thinned out, and a lot of baby rose of Sharon, so we're going to be planting those on either side of the trail. I can't tell you what a joy it is to walk up these nice, evenly spaced stairs compared to how we used to have it. Today I'm going to be propagating hydrangeas. Start with a pot, put in some pebbles for drainage. Some potting soil. I'm going to pre-moisten that. And I'm going to make sure my snippers are clean with some rubbing alcohol so we don't spread any diseases or funguses. Then let's go over to our plant. Okay, so we want to choose a stem that is non-flowering, and we don't want a woody stem. We want a nice flexible stem. And cut it an inch or two below one of the nodes where the leaves come out. I'm going to cut off both of those leaves. And the larger leaves, we're actually going to cut them in half so the plant isn't trying to keep those leaves going and to put more energy in the roots. Something like that. Actually, I'm going to propagate a few different stems in here. I'm just going to poke holes. Maybe we'll go with 3. You don't have to use the rooting powder, but I'm going to give it a shot just because it gives you a little bonus, a little leg up. Make sure you get those nodes covered in that because that's where the roots will come out. Alright, we'll do the same with 2 more and get them in that pot and give another watering and then we wait. I'm going to put these in a semi-shady spot where I can keep an eye on them. The best time to do this is in spring or summer. Well, spring or early to midsummer. And hopefully by next year I'll be able to plant them in the ground.